3D printing is high tech, really, and I really love tech things. I mean, look at what it can do. Look at this incredibly gorgeous 3D printed thing. But what I'm gonna do, with some help, is make something low tech using high tech. I'm kind of really excited about this. And I'm not gonna do it alone. Like I said, I've got some help from someone from far away. So with this part and others, and that person from far, far away, we're gonna make something awesome. Ow, that was loud. Right here on 3D Printing Nerd. Welcome back. This is the part. Here are other parts. There's a bunch of them here. So we have the parts. Now we need the friend. And the friend is from far away. So we need to summon my friend using a colloquial term that's most used from where he's from.
G'day, mate.
Oi!
Hey mate, how you going?
This is Mark Rhodes, Mark of the Rhodes. Hey, Mark.
Hi Joel, how are you?
Good. For those who might not know who you are at home, could you say a little bit about yourself?
Sure, well, I like to put things together and occasionally I do it with 3D printing, bit of technology, some Arduino, and I like to have fun doing it.
He is one of the most incredible model finishers, I think, I've ever had the joy of watching. He sent Sean and I John Wick blood markers, and they're over there. We'll have to go get those.
I saw that was over there.
Yeah, it's over there. But this is not a John Wick blood marker. This is actually a part of your other passion.
Yes.
Music.
Yeah, so I can't get enough of music and I collect records. And of course I collect records. It's
a very low-tech sort of technology at this point.
Being a high-tech guy, yes. It makes sense. So I had a question. If I have all these records that are sitting on my shelf, I've got a really nice, expensive record player. Could I make a record player? And the obvious question is, can I 3D print a record player?
I'm assuming you can because these parts, I'm told, are a 3D printed record player.
Survey says that's the case.
That's fantastic. There's a lot of parts here.
Yeah.
And I think I explained before that I printed everything twice, just in case. And let's see, we put that. These are what?
These are what we will call a tonearm. So there's a lot of little bits to this, but the tonearm is the bit that holds the cartridge. The cartridge holds the needle.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the bit that's holding the bit that touches the record.
Ah, so this is that thing that you put down on the record and play some awesome beats.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I printed all of the accompanying pieces multiple times as well. This, though, you said to print this piece right here 100% infill. Why is that?
I said to print this at 100% infill because this is a counterweight. And I could have given it to you in wood or a sinker or a piece of lead or something like that.
Sure.
But it makes sense to 3D print it.
It does.
And it turns out that 100% infill has enough weight to act as a counterweight when screwed onto this. And watch this go on. Oh, that's so good.
The interesting thing about this tone arm and this weight, especially with them having threads that connect together, they were printed on two separate machines.
Really?
So normally when you create stuff like this, you're going to print on the same machine because you're dialed in and you know the settings.
Yeah.
It worked on two different machines. This was printed on the Rhodes 3D N2+. This was printed on the Prusa i3 Mark III. And this was with a generic PLA, and this is with Prusament. And yet, let's see, ready? Oh, there we go. Okay. So that right there, when I printed these pieces, I was incredibly impressed because of this thing right here. Like, you're a great designer, man.
Well, it could be that I don't have my machines dialed in, so I've put in more tolerance. That's far more likely.
It doesn't wiggle. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
good.
on there. Okay, so this is the tone arm. This holds the cartridge, which holds the needle, which lays down on the record.
Yep.
This is the counterweight, which then makes it so it's not too heavy.
Well, see how I'm balancing it right there?
Holy cow.
The point of balance for this without the counterweight would be almost right in the middle. But nope. I had it.
It's different here in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, it is. I can't get over the way the toilet's flush. Let's not talk about that. All right. But you can see that allows it to balance. If I dial this right in now, it's going to change the point of balance quite significantly.
But the point of balance is just so it's not laying too heavy on the record?
Exactly, yep.
Oh.
Because at the end of this, we're going to put in a cartridge. and a needle. And if we've got too much weight on the needle, that's actually not a bad thing, believe it or not. It's if there's too little weight that it's going to cause an issue.
Because it's like micro hills and valleys that the needle's riding on?
Exactly right. And if there's too little weight, it'll skip across the grooves of the record and scratch it. Whereas if it's too much weight, it's probably going to be okay.
Okay. Huh. This is fun. This is a lot of fun learning this. Let's see. These parts right here. What are these?
These are the carriers for the motor we're going to use.
Motor goes in here?
The motor goes in there with a couple of screws right on the top. And then we just plug it into the actual chassis and screw it in.
That sounds easy.
Fairly straightforward.
This, I'm told, or if I remember right, let's see, this goes into this, right?
Correct. So when we have a motor in this piece, there's going to be a little spindle, I guess you'd call it, sticking up. That goes into this little hole here. And you can see there should be another hole here.
It's for a set screw.
For a set screw.
Okay.
So that goes onto there, and that goes through this piece.
I see.
And
oh, that fit quite well.
There we go, perfectly. What's the worst that could happen? Okay. We probably shouldn't have done that yet, but that's fine.
I don't know. Well,
it
wait, do we have to take it out?
We may. I could have told you that before, right? Fortunately, this one's all right.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
So all of these pieces...
Yeah.
Oh, no. All of these pieces are stored in... And this is the body of the record player, correct?
Yeah, that's the chassis. Now, I've made this so that you can print it either in one massive piece if you've got an adequately sized printer.
These right here, this, and actually these, the things that hold the records, these were printed on the G-Max 2, that new one. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm glad you got to see these. What do you think, though? How do these look? How do these turn out in your eyes?
Pretty good to me. A lot better than my printing, funnily enough. If anyone out there's got a good profile, please let me know.
For what?
Well, I used an artillery sidewinder and an Ender 3. I've got a great profile for an Ender 3, but my artillery sidewinder profile could use some love.
Well, we have all these pieces here, Mark. What do we need to do now to get this together to actually play a record?
Well, we need to put all the pieces together, solder some wires, attach an Arduino and a motor shield, the motor, a few screws, a little bit of solder, some heat shrink. That's it.
Just that's it. That's it.
It's at least 5 minutes worth of work. No, realistically, I'd say it'd take someone who's familiar with using a soldering iron half an hour to put it together.
Okay, so half hour for you, probably like 5 hours for me?
Well, we can find out.
All right, let's get to work. The assembly's done, and it looks like we have ourselves a 3D printed record player. The only thing left to do is plug in the power and see if it works. So power goes in right, yeah.
Yep, just in there.
Okay. Ready?
And go.
Wow, that's loud.
It is a little bit loud.
So record players don't typically use a motor like this, do they?
No, they don't. But it turns out when you've got the music playing and a little bit of a dampener under it, it's not too bad.
So then this would just kind of rest on the record and
That's it.
play the tunes.
Yep.
Well, cool. I'm gonna unplug it. This is a little loud. So what we're gonna do now, the only thing that I think we should do, and that's take this to a record shop. You wanna go see a Seattle record shop?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We've made it. Mark and I have made it to Hex Enduction Records and Books here in Lake City. It's a fantastic place, and we're here with Zeke. Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Thanks for letting us come by. I really appreciate you giving us a chance to try out this cool thing that we have. Are you excited about
I'm
this?
very excited, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on 3D printing and how it could apply to maybe playing some records?
I think it would be cool. I don't really know too much about 3D printing. I've seen some stuff that you've showed me, but I'm excited to see like how it works and how it sounds.
Well, this is going to be a lot of fun because I think you're really going to enjoy this. Mark, the record player itself, just give us a lowdown real quick as to what it's got and what we're going to hook up to.
Sure. So the record player itself is going to be a direct drive turntable that is built on top of a Arduino with a motor controller, works on 12 volts, and it has a ceramic cartridge on it, which you can get from eBay or probably any record shop, probably this record shop.
And a ceramic cartridge, just to make sure, because I had to learn this from you, that is what contains the needle, correct?
That's right, the stylus. So the stylus is what goes up and down those little grooves inside the record, moves kind of back and forward and up and down. And when it does that, a little bit of induction happens, and what that does is transmit a tiny, tiny bit of current through along the wires, which goes into your amplifier and then to your speakers.
Okay, we're almost at this point now where we can actually test this out. But before we do that, Zeke, what record did you pick?
I picked a band called Dragon. The record is soft opening. Local band, came out last year off Reefer Records. Very good stuff.
I'm excited for this, man. I'm really excited because this is just a cool practical application of this stuff. Obviously, you don't know a lot about 3D printing, but you find this neat.
Yes.
Mark knows a lot about 3D printing, and he finds this pretty neat, too.
I find it pretty cool.
So the next step now is to hit the button up front, which will power the motor and get the record spinning. Once it's up to speed, Zeke, you're going to drop the needle.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Go for it. So it kind of steps up and you hear some different sounds as it gets up to speed. Obviously, professional record players don't have that sound. Mm-hmm. We're using a very inexpensive motor in this. But if this record is rocking, we shouldn't have a problem with that sound.
All right.
It's up to speed. You want to drop the needle?
I'll drop the needle.
Hey, real quick, have to break in here. We're at Sean's and he's in the edit, as you can see. And what you're about to hear is a record being played on a 3D printed record player in a record shop. The record that was chosen and the song that was chosen take a little bit to get going, but don't worry, these are authentic sounds that you're about to hear. We did have an option because Mark purchased this record, brought it back to Australia, so he could have recorded a song from the record through his 3D printed record player that he made at home and then played it through his speakers and recorded it via lav mic and sent us the WAV file, and then we could have replaced it. But just know, we didn't do that. David, Sean, and I spoke and decided we wanted to give you an authentic experience and show you exactly what we heard in the record store. This is 100% exactly what happened, and I can't wait for you to see it. Support local music, and now back to the show.
It's very light.
It's working.
That is working.
Good job, Mark. Wow, that sounds pretty good.
That does sound pretty good.
I'm impressed because that's just a cheap cartridge up front, right?
That's not even $10. I got 3 for $10.
Oh, this is fantastic. What do you think, man?
I think it sounds great. That is really cool.
Are you happy with this, Mark?
Yeah.
You did travel a long distance to make this happen.
This is why I'm here.
This is worth the trip alone, right?
Yeah.
This is great. Do you notice a little wobble there?
Yes.
It's because we're using a plastic piece that attaches to the metal spindle of the motor, the shaft there. So it's not perpendicular perfect. And so that's why you get a little bit of wobble, but it doesn't interfere with the music.
Yeah, no, I haven't noticed it affecting it at all. That is so cool.
There we go. Well, that's it. We've tested a 3D printed record player in a record store, and we heard beautiful music come from the speakers. A big thanks to Hex Enduction for letting us come by. We'll put links in the description where you can find out more about them. They are an awesome business, and I highly suggest stopping by if you ever find yourself in the area. Zeke, thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that. If Zeke has any pertinent links, we'll put those down in the description as well. And Mark, my friend, all the way from Australia, this was a fantastic project. Thank you for letting us go on this wonderful journey with you.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming by. Look, if you made it this far, you're awesome. Don't forget to hug each other more, because I love you all. As always, high five. Yeah? You want one? I got a couple.